master JavaScript. We are going to learn JavaScript beginners to advanced from day 1 to day 5. So Monday to Friday, and we are going to learn almost everything here. And means it will be a bit fast, but I'm going to teach almost everything here. And again, uh, attendance. Let me write this thing. Hello all. Attendance will be given at the end. So again, attendance will be given. Then hope I am. You all are able to see me everywhere. Yeah, I think it is going to YouTube also. One day, what happened? It was not going to YouTube. So all of means I have to start it again. Yeah. Good evening. Thank you all. Okay. So we are going to learn means everything means JavaScript basic, JavaScript DOM, async JavaScript, and ES6. All of them we are going to learn. So let's quickly get started. And let me share my screen. So as we have done a brief of JavaScript on the Saturday on the web development workshop. So we are going to learn more deep into that. As always, I teach JavaScript starting to with JSBin. I start with the JSBin, then I go ahead. So JSBin is a very good editor, as I have always told, and through it you can build everything. And through it we go to JavaScript, and console we are going to open, because console is where the real programmers work and all those things happen in the console. So console is something which is here. Okay, console is something which is here. Okay, so that is done. So let's start. So in JavaScript, if I do console.log of hello JavaScript, hope I run it, it will show me this hello JavaScript. Hope I'm at the highest resolution. One sec. Yeah, I'm at highest resolution. It's okay. So this is how the console.log, which is it is a function which is there. So this is known as JSWin. This is not a tool. This is known as JSWin. Let me paste it. JSWin. It's an online editor. Okay, so that is there. So console.log is there, but the main thing is that as I've told earlier also, we are going to JavaScript is a statically typed language, and it is not a strongly typed language, it is a loosely typed language. So we don't have like integer var, integer string, and all those things, just like a higher order programming language like Java, C++. But we have only one thing at the beginning, which was there from the beginning. And then there is let and const, which were introduced later in the language in 2015 when ES6 was introduced. See, JavaScript was released in 1995, and till 20 years it ruled the world, but it actually exploded after 2010 when everything became JavaScript. From all this, even this editor I'm using, it is also built in JavaScript, and all those things, all those nice websites like Facebook, Netflix, everything is possible because of JavaScript only. Because of JavaScript, React, Angular, and all those things, it is possible. And so they have added a lot of things in ES6. So ES6 is very important to learn, which is also known as modern JavaScript, and that we are definitely going to cover in these 5 days. So yeah, so first thing which we are going to learn about these three things which are known as var, let, and const. Var is from 1995, from the starting of the JavaScript. Let and const were introduced in 2015. For some reason, there were some issues with var, and for that reason only let and const were introduced. Especially the let was introduced for that reason. Const is a different thing altogether. Let was introduced for a reason. So let us do that. So let me remove this, and then var f name equal to again. So on the top it doesn't seem like something different. So let l name equal to swas, and const full name, we can do it like this, full name equal to bindu swas. In fact, I should change this also like this, f name, or because this is known as camel casing. Okay, so first one, or whenever it is changing, it is small, and the mid one is capital. So this is especially true in JavaScript. We do a lot of camel casing here, means it is not required, but in JavaScript we do this. This is known as camel casing. And after that, I will do console.log of f name, console.log of l name, console.log of full name. I'll do clear it, run it, and I will get this now Bindu Visa. So on the top, it is seems like all of them are same. We are storing a variable. This is how variables are stored. Var f name is there, and these are known as variables in different programming language, also in JavaScript. So a variable is stored, and this is how our variable got stored. And then we are reading what is there in the variable with this console.log. Okay, so this is the, and then, but what is the difference between, as I've told, there is a difference between var and let. And let was introduced for a reason. There are some shortcomings in var. So what are those shortcomings? We will see. Okay, see what is there. This var var is functional scope and not block scopes. Like most programming language, it is not blocked scope. Okay, it is not blocked scope. So that is the problem with var. So how we will see that problem? So let us see that. So we are soon going to learn about something known as if statement. If statement, if it is true, then only it goes inside. So I can make it true like this: true, and var num1 equal to, and I'll do, and then console.log inside if var, and generally we do with the, if I want to show some variable, I do the plus num1. So see, this is known as string. This will be printed as it is, and this, the value will be printed. Okay, so if I am doing this, and if I clear it and run it, it will definitely show it, because it is always true. Generally we have a condition here in the if condition, and depending on it is true or false. So it is always true in this case. But I'll do console.log of outside if var. Actually, this will give error in most other programming languages. This will give error. Why this will give error? Because every programming language, what happens, if a statement is there in almost every programming language, from C, C++, Java, everything is there. Everything is a block scope. So there is a scope. So this var I have declared, this is, its scope will end from here till here in most other programming language. But in JavaScript it doesn't end, because it is not functional scope, and this caused a lot of problem in the past 20 years, means from 1995 till 2015. It's caused a lot of problem, and var sort of become a global scope. How I can make var a functional scope is that, if I, okay, first let me show one more thing. So they have introduced let, which is not, which is block scope, and which is just like other programming language. So like this, I'll do this. Okay, first let me comment this out. I will uncomment it again. Let me make it num2, actually num2, or else num2, num2, and I will change it to let inside if let, and let, clear it, run it, and it is giving me error. Inside if let is run, but outside one is giving error, because let is block scope. So it goes inside any block it will go inside, like if, switch, or any other block it will go. Its scope will end from here till here. So the num2 scope is from here till here. Outside it, we don't know what is a num2. The compiler doesn't know. And this is how in other programming language it also works, like C, C++, Java. And so this was introduced in 2015. Now why there was this errors and all this in JavaScript, that is another story. Because actually JavaScript was created in 3 days. In a hurry it was created, because at that time it was early days of internet. There is something known as Netscape Navigator, which was the first internet browser. It was coming out, and HTML CSS already was there 2 years back, but they wanted to have something with this programming capability so that the button click and all those things can work. So main use of JavaScript in those days was like only the button click and all those things. So the creator, actually it was a hurry and he created JavaScript in 3 days. So there were a lot of bugs, but then internet just exploded and internet became the thing, and they were never able to fix those bugs, because if they will fix those bugs, half of internet will broke, half of the early Yahoo code will broke, half of the early so in bigger company what happens, the code keep on going, it doesn't means they don't delete it and all. That's the reason they say Google is like that billion lines of code, because the old code doesn't goes anywhere. Okay, so that is already always there. Okay, so that is there. So this was never solved, so they introduced let. So wherever a programmer new projects they will create, generally we are advised to use let only, not var. Okay, because it creates global variables and it creates a lot of issues. So that is there. And then if I comment this out, and if I now, how is this we are going to, what is functional scope, what do you mean by functional scope? So functional scope means if I wrap this all in a function, then I cannot use it like function in JavaScript are given mainly by the function keyword. Var example, I'll do like this, I'll do next like this. Outside function var, no one, outside function var, and a function we call like this, var ex. So we call like this. Okay, we call like this. So let me clear it, let me run it. See, now it is giving me error, because outside this function it is not means even it is giving error here also, because we are not even able to go inside the function, so it will give me error. So that's why it is means called as functional scope. So outside this it is not even, that means we don't even recognize it outside the function, but only inside outside the function, no other thing. In other languages, just we other language and with let, we just give it inside if or something and it will be there. So this is known as the difference between var and let. And so one more thing is remaining, and that is what is const. Okay, what is const? So const is nothing but, it is known as constant. Okay, constant means if I do const num4, we are going to look a bit more into the const later on. Const num equal to 34, and so num4 equal to 35. Give, it will again give me error, it will again give me error because it is not possible. But if I give it as let, it, run it, so it will not show anything, because I'm not even console logging it. Console dot log num4, it will show 35. Okay, so it is like this. Const, I'll take, make it back to const. So in const we cannot change it, as simple as that. But now we'll now learn about data types. Again, I will open a new JS bin, do JavaScript console output, and this I will do. So data types, there are data types. So there are 6 type of data types: string, num, boolean, null, undefined, and symbol. Okay, so let us see all of them. So const name equal to bindu, const age equal to 39, morning, const rating equal to 9.5, const is trainer equal to true, and const x equal to null, and let of z. So as I've told, means I'm not going to tell about symbol. Symbol is something which have come with ES6, and it is also known as data type, but we don't use it that much. It is something like array, which are going to learn later on. Okay, so now console.log of type of name, type of age, type of rating is trainer x z. Run it. See, type of operator gives us what is a type of. So type of name is a string, which is there in other programming language also. Here we have, but in JavaScript we give it with single quotes, double quotes, or there is another kind of thing which is known as like backtick. So this backtick is also a string in JavaScript, and this has got some special features which I will tell later on during maybe ES6. I will tell. Okay, so we can get single quotes or double quotes also, and age is a number. So in JavaScript, everything is a number. In other programming language like C++, Java, number is generally divided into real numbers and float numbers. So it is not like that. 39 is also a number, and 9.5 is also a number. Both of them are number. Okay, then there is a boolean values, true and false, just like any other programming language. Nothing difference here. And now what is there? And x equal to null and z. So x equal to null and z. So there is something, and there is another data types which is null and undefined. So null and undefined, both of them means that there is no value, absence of value. Both of them means empty values, no values. Okay, so what does that means and the thing is that null is assigned by the user, the programmer like me, and if you leave something as blank, it is assumed to be undefined. Okay, there is a bug here, again a bug. Okay, so uh let me first tell about the bug. See, type of x, which is a null, should have been null, but it is object, because again, as I've told, JavaScript was created in 3 days. So this bug was there, and they never solved this bug, or else half of the internet will break. So this should be null, so you can understand it as null. Okay, and then now let us understand what is null and undefined. So null and undefined is like an empty values. Let us understand with an example. Suppose you go fill a college admission form, or fill a school admission form, in which suppose there is a middle name is there. So middle name of a child. So for my kid, I haven't given a middle name for my kid. So what I have done, when the school form is there, in the middle name I have filled NA. NA is not applicable. So the clerk who is reading that school form, she will see that form and enter that into the computer. That is how in India everything works. So she will fill that in the computer. So when she will see that NA is there, she will understand the kid doesn't have a mid name. Don't fill it. So it means that. And if I have left it blank, totally blank, she would have understand that also. And both of them means there is no value. There is no value. Null and undefined. But null is given by me, undefined is given by the system. So that is the difference between them. Okay, so that is done. We're done here. And then okay, so let us learn about a bit of string concatenation. Although we should learn this in ES6, but we are going to learn it here so that we don't have to learn ES6, or we can add it later on. So const name equal to bindu, and const age equal to 39, and So the old way of doing it, so the old way of doing this is console, and it is valid still today, console.log of my name is plus. So whenever we give some variable name, we have to give this plus name plus, and I am plus age plus my year old. Suppose I want to give not year old, I want to give years old, like this, years old. I cannot give it because both of these things mean the same thing. So I have to give a escape here also to escape it. Escape here also. Good evening, everyone. So now if I run it, it will run. But again, it has got a lot of issues. So it is got a lot of issues. Like, see, this is all coming together. So when you give this thing, we should always understand that there should be a space here, there should be a space here, there should be a space here, there should be a space here. Now if I run it, it is okay. So this is the old way, and lot of errors can come in this those spaces and all. I should know the new way, the ES6 way. It is a ES6 way, and console dot log, it is done by this tilde. It is below the escape key, and my name is dollar name, and I am dollar age years old. See, I'm writing plain English, so I will definitely know where to give a space. Here I was not writing plain English, so I will forgot. And this dollar name is there. Whenever we have some variables, we give this dollar and curly bracket. So that is mandatory, dollar and curly bracket. Rest of them, I didn't have to escape this thing because I'm using backticks. So I didn't have to escape this thing. So this is the benefit of it. Okay. So this is the benefit of it. So when we're learning this string, so let us learn a bit more. Okay. So there are certain string methods are there. Okay. Certain string methods are there. We will learn about those string methods. So yeah, using backtick, you should use backtick. Okay, so there are certain string methods are there, like const, str. Everything has a method, even string have a method. So I have like hello java script is there. Okay. Console.log of str dot length. So there are certain string methods are there. Okay, so best place to learn about them is to uh, string methods MDN. MDN stands for Mozilla Development Network. It is one of the best place to get the document, even better than W3C schools, because W3 schools is all very beginners. So it is like this. So you come here and you can see all the methods here. Whichever is deleted means it is not there. So JavaScript is constantly evolving. So those are not there, but all the string methods which you can use are there. Wherever is deleted and these things comes, you don't do this. So you don't have to by heart it again. So but you can see all of these things which are there. So string dot length I'll do. So what it will do, it will give me the length of the string, which is 16. So it will give me the length. Now similar to this, I will have we have other methods like two upper, two lower, all those things we have. So let us do that. Console.log dot to upper case to uppercase. If I run it, see, it will change it to two uppercase. So similar to two uppercase, I have two lowercase also. So it will make it all to lowercase, whatever it was there. Then we have something known as substring also. So str dot substring 0 comma 7. I'll do. So what it will do? It will cut from 0. See, every programming language, string or array, we are going to soon learn about array. They all start from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Before 7 it will come. Okay, so this is like this, string dot substring 0 to 7 is there. Now we have like a console dot log. Another thing is str dot includes Java. So it returns me either true or false. So str includes, it is checking that whether Java is there or not. So yeah, Java is there. So it is giving me true. But the same thing if I do COBOL, it will give me false because COBOL is not there in the whole string. Whole string. Okay. So this is the string. So okay. I'm not given the MDN link. So let me give the MDN link also. Okay. Both rate JS pen. Okay, so there are other data types also in Java which are not, which these are known as non-primitive data types, but they're very important. One of them is array, which is a very important data type in JavaScript, and it is there in other programming languages also like C, C++, Java. All of them it is there. Okay, so now const lang equal to Java script, comma Java, comma C++, comma Golang, comma 5, comma true. So what I'm doing right now, it is only possible in JavaScript because JavaScript, I can have mixed array like this. In other programming language, either you have a string array or you have a number array or you have a boolean array. So here I'm having a mixed array. Array are a special form in which we can store data in the your in a computer. So one is a var. Var is also a way to store a data. Okay, but it is not permanent. Var means like this, we can store a string, number or something. So this is also one method to store the data array in a sequential manner. In one variable like lang, I am able to store all these things. So this is way to store the data. And now I will do a console dot log of lang. I'll do, and I'll run it. It will show me the whole thing. But how to access a single element? So arrays always start with zero index. Even we have seen this in array, this string, it was starting with zero index. So array also start with the zero index. So if I give 3, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So Golang will be printed. So it is like this. So now we will try to add a variable in an array. Add an element in an array. So one way is like that, I can directly do this like lang 3 equal to C and console.log of lang, like this, clear, run. So C is added here. C is added here in place of Golang. So C is added here in the place of Golang, which is not a good thing to do actually, and we generally don't do it like this. So we have certain method, actually 4 methods we have, through which we can add it in an array to the start or the end, or in the beginning and the end. Or remove some element from the beginning and the end. So we are going to do that. So first thing, these two are we can see that they are not looking okay, means they are looking something different, means it is, so we'll remove them. So how to remove them? So there is a method through which we can remove an element from the end of the array, which is known as pop. So lang.pop, and I want to remove 2 times, so I'll do 2 times lang.pop and then run it. See this one, you see last console. So 5 and true are removed. 5 and true are removed. So this is the lang. So similar to that, if you want to push something to the end or put something to the end, what I'm going to do? Lang dot push Pascal. Okay. And this adds to the end of the array. If I want to add something to the start of the array, lang dot unshift. So lang dot unshift I am going to do, and then here dot log is like this. Run it. So see, shift is added to the start and Pascal is added to the end. So this is how it works. Okay, so now there is something which removes also element from the start, so we should learn that also. Lang dot shift, and then so it remove this shift from the start. So this is how it is there. So this is how we have done, and then we are going to learn about some JavaScript methods. Actually, there are a lot of there is no insert and delete operation on an array. Only this much is there. Pushing to the start and pushing to the end. And if you want to directly insert, you can insert it like this. You cannot means insert and delete. So delete is this pop is delete only. Pop and unshift are delete only. Insert, if you want to insert at certain position, you need to add some very big logic which is beyond what I am going to teach. You have to add some logic for that, and which is not right now, it will not be possible to tell. Okay, so if you have to insert something, you have to copy that, go till that, find it, and write a program for that. Okay, so that is there. So JavaScript also, okay, got it. JavaScript, so it will require a for loop and all. Okay, so JavaScript. Okay, so this const lang. So now we are going to learn about different array methods. So just like we had learned about this string methods, so there are array methods. Actually, array methods are very much required, and we are going to learn about a lot of array methods when we are going to learn about ES6, the modern JavaScript, which is very much required for our next week. And next week is React, the main thing of all this thing, the main way you can get a job today. So that is required. ES6 is required for that. Okay, so console.log. So there are a lot of JavaScript methods, and they're very important. Array dot is array of lang handle, and it generally checks whether a pass this something is a array or not. So it is giving me true. So but if I do something like this, and if I passed maybe lang of 0, which is a string, it will give me false. Okay, so again I have a lot of things like console.log lang. So we can do like this. Lang.include Java. Lang.include whole. Again we have something like this. So it will check in the whole array. So this is giving me true because Java is there, and this is giving me false because it is not there. Again, there is a very good link which is array methods mdn. So all these methods you can find it here. Okay, so that is there. Now we are going to learn about objects. So objects are a different way to store the variables, store everything. Objects are a different way. Like array are there, so objects are also there. Objects. So const person equal to, so object starts with this curly bracket, and objects are key value pair. So objects are key value pair. So f name is like having two comma, it's a key value pair. It is different, and it is also very powerful thing and used a lot in programming. Okay. Okay, so and especially in JavaScript and age. So it is like this. So what is the difference here? So this is a key value pair. So key is always unique. Value can be same also, it doesn't matter. So it's a key value pair. Okay. Yeah, JS is totally different from HTML and CSS. It is a real programming language. This is where people fall back. This is a real programming language. This is the tough thing. This is where the money is. Because this is a tough thing, people generally don't do this, and people get stuck in HTML CSS loop only, and they don't get that much. Okay, so I teach a lot of HTML CSS developers also to become a React.js developer, and that is like that. That is life. So const person is there, and see, first name is there, and we'll soon see what is React JavaScript means. All these buttons and all those things which we have created, that functionality from where you'll add, or the forms which we have created with HTML CSS, beautiful forms. You just click the submit button, something should be done at that time. That logic is created that through through JavaScript, but only not that much logic that was done in the 90s. A lot more logic. All these things are built with something known as React.js, which is a library of JavaScript. So JavaScript is a must for React.js. Okay, so that is a totally different, totally different. So that is the person, first name, last name, age, and is developer. So it is like this. All of them are there. So as I was telling, object is a key value pair. So key value pair, and this is all unique. Okay, so now if I see this, so let me first comment this out, and then console.log of person. If I do this person, it will show me like this. So this object, ignore it, it's a bit of a bug in here. So it will show like this. So see, the order is not same. See, age, it is coming like an alphabetical order. This order will not be the same. Okay, so that is there. And two, again, the main thing of anything if you store is to get the data of this thing, means they get the value. So this is how we can retrieve the value. Here we were retrieving the value through like this notation, but here how we will retrieve the value. So there are two ways. One is the dot f name I'll do. So it is known as dot notation. Dot f name I'll do, it will give me. And another one is known as bracket notation. Okay, bracket notation, what will happen, I will give the inner quotes, I'll name like this I'll give, and it will also give me like this. Okay, and name it will also give me like this. And the benefit of this notation is that, see, this thing is a string, but it is not required to give it as a string, but I can take it as a string also. And instead of L name, suppose I write last name, I want to give this a space, then I cannot show it in this notation. I have to use this notation only, because I can give a space in here and it will give you the same thing. So this is our objects. An object doesn't have many methods, only some of the methods it have. So like there is a method known as console.log object dot is person object dot value So if I do this, see object.keys person I'm doing. Okay, object.keys person I'm doing. So it is putting all the keys in an array and giving me. Object.values person I'm giving, it is putting all the values in an array and giving me. So these are things. Okay, someone asked some question, so let me answer that one sec. Will end in some time also, so let me give the attendance sheet. Mark your attendance here. And as always, a lot of people have got the CSS certificate, so means game is on to get those 2 free seats. Okay, so that is here. So mark your attendance here, and let me pin it also. So someone asked the sir, one question I have: can we convert from one data type and the can we convert from integer to string? As I've told, there is no integer and string in JavaScript. Everything is like a var. So whatever you give, the compiler interprets. So you can easily convert in JavaScript. In fact, it automatically converts if it is if you give something like this like this in the string one, so it will try to convert it directly into a number one. We'll see this thing, but the conversion is done automatically in JavaScript because JavaScript is not a strongly typed language like Java. Okay, so now we are going to okay, so we are going to learn about loops, which is a very important concept in any programming language, and we are going to learn about that. So loops. So one of the most common loop, if you're coming from a engineering background, means most of the engineers, they mug up the programs. But even if they mug up the programs in a computer science background or electronics background, you must have heard loop and you must have mug up the program. But loops are there, and loops are similar, which is there in other programming language like Java, C++, C, which have been taught in engineering colleges and all. And even if I'm from not IT background, so let understand what I'm doing. So loops are something. See, suppose some program is there which I want to run again and again. So I can write that again and again and again. But that is not how programs work, and that is not how programmers work. We write loops so that same thing we it can run again and again. So for that, loops are written. So for let I equal to 0, I is less than equal to 10, I plus plus, I'll do an console.log of, I will use a template string, loop number is $I, I'll do, and I will run it, and it will run. So how it ran, so that is the main thing, how it ran. So this is not a for loop, and in every other programming language also it is like this. So this run in a different way. So first thing is that the first time when it initialize, what happens, for let I equal to 0 is run first time, again it run first time in a different way, second time onwards it runs in a different way. For let I equal to 0, I is less than equal to 10, it is searching. I is less than equal to 10 means I value is 0, 0 is less than equal to 10, whether it is true or not, and this loop will run till this condition is true. The moment it is false, it will come out of the loop. So 0 is less than equal to 10, which is true, so it will come down and loop number 0 is printed. Okay, so 0 is printed. Now what it will do, it will do I plus. After that it will again come up, but it will come from the right direction. Here it will not again do the let I equal to 0, or else it doesn't make sense. So it will do I plus plus. I plus plus is a shortcut of is equal to I plus 1. So I could have written that I equal to I plus 1. So it will make the I equal to I plus 1, which is it will make it 1. So 1 is less than equal to 10. Yeah, 1 is less than equal to 10, it is true. It will again write 1, then it will come up, it will make it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it will come and make it 10. 10 is less than equal to 10. Yeah, it is true, so it will write 10. then it will again make come 11. So it will make 11. 11 is less than equal to 10. No, it is not true. 11 is not less than equal to 10. So it will exit the loop. The moment this condition is false, it will exit out of the loop. So this is how it will exit out of the loop and print it. So this is a for loop. So similar to the for loop, we have a while loop. And if I tell a while loop, this will be much more easier. But while loop we don't use that much. We use for loop only in all the time. We'll use for loop only. So very less. So I can change this whole thing into a while loop, and while loop are actually generally much more easier to understand. So a while loop, what I'll do first, so I'll do take this, let I equal to 0, and then the while loop will start, and I'll copy this, paste this, and inside this I will have this console.log, and then I will have this I plus plus. So it is much more easier to understand because it is happening. So initialization is done I equal to 0. After that, program always done from top to down. It never goes up, means unless a function call is there or something is there like that. Because I equal to 0 is done. So 0 is less than equal to 10. Yes, it is true. 0 is less than equal to 10. And then I am printing 0. Okay. I am printing 0. Then it will increase it. I equal to I plus 1. I equal to I plus 1, 1. 1 is less than equal to 10. Yeah, it is true. Then the loop will go, and it will go like that. Okay. So this is how the while loop is done. But the problem with while loop is why we don't prefer it. If I forget to give this will go into infinite loop and this will break the program. If I forget to give this will cause a lot of problem. That's why we don't use that much while loop. So like this, we have a do while also, like a while loop, do while. So do while is even used much more lesser. So do while we have, so in that what happened, this is I'm going to even cut it, place it here, and there will be something do. So do while is, there is if I run it, it will run, no problem is there. But there is a special use case for do while. Do while, see, we are not checking the condition here. So what is there in do while, uh, it will run even if the condition is not true for one time. So suppose I will make I, instead of I plus plus, I'll make I plus equal to 11. I'll make I plus equal to 11. I plus equal to 11 means I equal to I plus 11. Okay, I equal to I plus 11. So what will happen, it will only run it once, because 0, it will put this 0, and then this I will become 11. So this while loop will not execute, so it will run only once. But if I put the same thing in a while loop, it will not run. But this is not checking the condition, so that's why it will run. Okay, so now, okay, okay. So now we will understand about a very common way, common feature. Let I equal to 4. I didn't got it. Okay, so now there is a very common pattern. We have learned about array. We have learned about objects. So there is a very common pattern which is an array of object. We'll learn about it when we are going to learn about React. So const lang equal to, like this, I'll have id equal to maybe 1. So we are soon going to see a lot of data in the internet is in passed like this array of objects. Okay, so name is Pascal, year is 1970, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years Here is 1972. C++. Here is 1985. Java. Here is 90. So these are the real years. 1990 when these languages were released. Java script also released in the year 1995. So we want to loop through this. And maybe I want to get the name of all the programming languages. Okay, so what I'm going to do? I'm going to do for. I'm going to have a for loop again. For let I equal to 0. So I want to get my main thing is that I want to get the name of all the programming languages. I is less than lang dot length I plus plus. So this when we understand console dot log of lang of I dot name. So what I'm doing here, see lang of 0. Okay, so let me do one thing. Lang of, so lang, this is the array of objects. See, this array is there and each of the element is an object. So this is the most common pattern to give anything, array of object in the internet. So if I do this lang I equal to 0, I is lang dot length. We have already seen what is lang dot length. Lang dot length in this case will be 5. Lang dot length will be 5 in this case. And so first what will happen, 0, it will give here 0, then it will give here 1 2 3 4 5. So it will go till 5. Okay, so it will be like this. So if I run it, see, I will get all of these things, but I don't want the complete thing. I want only the name maybe. So I'll do dot name. I'll get the name, and if I do a dot here, I will get the year. So this is a for loop, traditional for loop. So there is some other loop known as a for off loop, and this kind of loops, for loop for beginners also, for experienced people also, sometimes it's a bit difficult. For experienced people, what is difficult? I was giving this length, and I generally I don't know how I type. I generally make it like this always. So for us also it is sometimes difficult. So there is a for all off loop. It is not means there is a lot of things here. That is a short form for off loop. Internally it do this only. So for let L or any item, let L of lang I'll do, and then console dot log of L dot year. So L now will be this whole of object. What is there? So L dot year I'll do, and maybe I'll run both of them. So see this L dot year is coming from this second loop. Okay, so this is the for of loop, and we did a lot today. And so we did a lot today, and we will start from tomorrow. Means we'll continue this tomorrow, and after the JavaScript, there is something known as DOM, where we are going to do an example. So in the DOM, we are going to do an example. After that DOM, we are going to do async JavaScript, and after that we are going to come into ES6, and then I will tell which projects and all to do for my channel, which projects you should do after this. So this is all theoretical thing. After that, which projects you should do so that you can be more good in JavaScript. And anyways, I am completing it in 3 weeks, and but you will take around 3 to 6 months to be a React.js developer, depending upon which background you're from. You're from an IT background or a electronics background, B electronics background, you will take 3 months. You're from a non-IT background, it will take you 6 months. So after this theory, you have to practice a lot. So suppose today someone was asking in my WhatsApp group also, CSS is done, but a lot of practice needed to be done. And that list I have given, what way you have to practice. That list I have given means like that. At the end, you have to do front end mentors only. In JavaScript also, you have to build a lot of projects. Seeing after doing this, you have to build a lot of projects with normal project, with ES6 projects, and projects gets added to your portfolio. That gives you a job. that those projects you show it on LinkedIn, that will give you a job. JavaScript projects you do, React JS also I will tell everything. Then you do the projects. After you learn everything, create more projects, and those projects will give you a job. And that's how you'll get a job as a web app developer in 3 months, doing all these things. Okay, so with this I will end today's stream. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hope you all have filled that attendance form. It is very important. If you're not fill it, watch the replay and get it. So some people ask me after the call where I can see, watch the replay again, and you can feel it. Okay, so you should try to attend in live only. Okay, because this live chat get enabled tomorrow. Okay, so please fill that. And if you're not yet filled, and I will end it today's session. I will meet tomorrow at the same time, which is 8:30 p.m. Basic JavaScript, is it enough? Front end I'm not teaching just basic JavaScript. I'm teaching after this DOM, async, ES6, everything I'm teaching. This is not basic. And uh, but I don't teach way too much deep JavaScript also. I know deep JavaScript also, and deep JavaScript so much deep that it will take you another 1 year. Even for me to complete everything will take one year to complete. JavaScript is very deep, especially the old JavaScript is very deep. I only always teach all those things which are required to be a developer as soon as possible, web app developer, and get a job. It is like I have heard it somewhere. It is like if you want to be a singer and if you want to get a job, you can go the long route and learn all the classical music and all, and do the riyaz and all, and then learn Bollywood music, Bollywood singing, and become a singer. Or you can just learn Bollywood singing and become a singer. I am taking you to in that part. I'm teaching you just the Bollywood singing to make you a singer. You don't go too deep in JavaScript. It's a rabbit hole. You will go way too deep and you will not again understand all those things. But I will teach all the important things. Okay, so that is like that. And with this, I'll end today's stream. Thank you for